All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Darrel Long channel, hosted by your boy Darrel Long. I want to go ahead and tell you guys this. So, everybody know that we have been doing videos talking about Race Batem Tatum, Officer Tatum, and just recently, Anton Daniels tried to get his panelists to basically agree with Officer Tatum and agree with his talking points, or basically try to protect Officer Tatum. But they wasn't going. So Anton ended up throwing a little fit. Let's go ahead and take a look at it right now. We don't need a super chat. Let's go.
All right. You ready for this next subject?
Yep.
Go.
Yes, ma'am. They didn't mention anything about whether Nolan has service or not, but they articulated the reason why Nolan may not have, certain pictures on his phone. And they had mentioned because Nolan spent the night at their house the night before, because it's traditional for the last few years that they actually went to Horn Island together. But they were saying that they had taken pictures at the house. Some of the pictures that you've seen floating around online were pictures that they took on the boat, but they didn't take those pictures when they got out there to Horn Island because they were having fun. And I would argue that they were drinking, and I couldn't imagine that they want to get underage drinking on camera. So what they had articulated to me that it wasn't abnormal for people not to snap and not to do a lot of pictures and things like that because they were focused on.
But you told me they showed you pictures and videos.
Yeah,
so
but
they
it's
did
not
take
uploaded.
pictures and videos.
No. It's not a lot of pictures and they weren't uploaded. So when you're talking about Snapchat, you're talking about a platform where people are uploading images and pictures to produce to the world. What they showed me were things that they had recorded on their phone, and it wasn't a lot of different things because most of what they did was drinking and having fun in the water. And so, what they had articulated to me as well is that it's not abnormal for people not to snap. It's not abnormal for you not to have your phone. And Nolan wasn't the only person that left his phone on the boat. They also mentioned to me, and you can see it in the interview that they did, was that they had no reason to touch Nolan's phone. They weren't thinking about Nolan's phone when they thought the boat was sinking. And when they got to the house, it was no incident when it comes to Nolan getting the phone back to the friend and parent.
You're going far afield from my question. Let me redirect you back to their phones. Nolan has nothing on his phone. They have pictures and videos on their phones. You told me that they exist, whether they posted them or not. So they were taking pictures and videos. Don't you see why the mom, Nolan's mom, is concerned there's nothing on her son's phone?
Well, Nancy, it's unclear exactly what the mother is articulating, because at one point she's concerned that there's not a lot of Snapchats or social media posting.
Now, before the Anton panel break down how he feels, let me tell you guys this. Nancy Grace, that's her name, right? Nancy Grace has went online. She has did like a part 2, and I don't know how she get her information. I say she's really just that B-word. Like she knows what she's doing out here. That apparently she got pictures of when all the kids was out there and like on the boats in the water. Every single kid had their phone, bro. So I'll be breaking those videos down. I'll be breaking Freezy videos down and Say Light videos, and anybody else who covering this, I'm just doing pre-recordeds and I'll post them whenever I get a chance to. Like, that's pretty much it. Now this, I'm gonna try to do without having to edit it, right? I'm gonna try to do it without having to edit too much of it. If I have to edit it, it'll be because maybe the kids running around, right? Or something like that, right? But outside of that, let's just keep going. Let's see what they have to say about this.
Or is he becoming the most hated person on, well, not just you.
So the prompt reads, is Officer Tatum becoming the most hated and why? Anton know directly why Officer Tatum is becoming the most hated. Because he is shucking and jiving. And your panel, right, Quentin and everybody else, they have had enough of Anton shucking and jiving. So they tell Anton right here why people don't like Officer Tatum, why people feel like he's shucking and jiving. And then we're going to get this argument between Slimmy and the girls because they told Slimmy he was on his period. Let's keep going.
YouTube, he's all over CNN and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, it's because he's a fucking tap dancing fucking grifter.
Damn.
Yeah, it's because he's a fucking tap dancing fucking grifter. The pure fact that you can give me any scenario and I know this nigga's point of view before he opens his mouth is ridiculous. I know what side he's going to pick on every argument before he even opens his mouth. It's stupid. He had all of these interviews with these alleged friends, and that nigga just asked questions like they was their best friends. He didn't hold their foot to the fire when they was flip-flopping on the answers. And this nigga just like that nigga, he trying to get, he with the people.
Who was the people?
Batem, Tatum.
He tap dancing for the white man.
And it's crazy, Quentin. I think Quentin said that on some petty shit, because that's the same thing that that Corey Holcomb said to Anton. You tap dancing for the white man. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, Corey Holcomb was right about Anton, and that same sentiment applies to Officer Tatum. Like, it's only so long y'all can do this before the white community turn their back on y'all, and then y'all got to come back to us, right? Anton time is coming. His panel I think Anton panel don't even like him. I swear to God. I think the only ones that really like him is Mimi and Molly. Quentin been there since Fight Club. Quentin is the last one that I see be that you know, they be hanging around Anton since Fight Club. Aaron No, gone. Brittany B, gone. Island Girl Q, gone. Everybody at Lapeef, gone. Huh? Yeah, and Quentin definitely like a Northman. He definitely loyal. He remind me of Ilkan Ali and Fatty. He loyal, but he also being paid. He being paid thousands of dollars. I remember when Quentin on Fight Club, when he said he first saw Anton, he was in the Detroit airport. He just saw him and just fangirled out. Ever since then, they've been working together. And I don't got nothing against Quentin. I actually like Quentin. When I was going against Lucky, Quentin was one of the people that would come over. He would support me, and he got pushback for it. But he always stood 10 toes down and said, "Hey, she was wrong. Darrel was wrong. Fuck it. I'm just here to watch." And I appreciate that, man. Shout out to Quentin.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean when people say that?
You ever heard Gregory Hines tap dance? He tap dance.
Oh, the tap dancer. No, I'm just saying, when people say they tap dance for the white man, maybe that's just his personal belief. And I'm not even, I don't care that much, but I think this whole investigative situation on this young child who died mysteriously, I'm kind of over everybody even like talking. Like, I'm just waiting to hear what happened, because
that's what we're trying to figure out, Brittany. While you saying like, oh, you're over everybody doing investigative journalism, there would be no investigative journalism if we just listened to what the state said. Oh, well, he drowned up. He was washed up on the shores. That's it. If it wasn't for people going out and saying, hey, we need to look more into this. If it wasn't for the parents going out and say, hey, we need to figure out what happened to our son. This could happen to anybody else's son. Now, I don't know if Brittany is a mother or not, but as a parent, I said on TikTok, the whole situation with Nolan Wells terrified me, because if I send my child out to, basically like a little event with his friends, I expect him to come back. I don't expect my son to come back dead. He wasn't shot. There was no bullet holes found. And we don't have the throat to figure out if he was drowned or not, or if there was drugs in his system, or if he was forced. We don't know nothing. That's the whole reason of putting pressure, public pressure, on the state of Mississippi to let us know what happened. We don't even have the original autopsy. We don't even got that. Like, literally, the state is refusing to release anything. So you talking about some, journalists? We have to speculate, because we don't know nothing based on what the state is giving us. We don't even know anything about his lungs or his digestive system, because all of that stuff was kept from us. And if this was your child, you would want answers. If this was Anton's child, this was Leslie, all y'all would want answers. you wouldn't be saying let's stop talking about it. Let's keep going.
All these different speculations and what we think happened, and everybody doing interviews with kids. It's just kind of like, can we just wait to see what happened? Because at this point, I can't pick a side because we don't have enough information. I think that people do not like him, not just because of this situation, but I think a lot of people don't like him. I don't know that much about him. I did see the Nancy Grace interview, and she was not playing with him. She definitely, she was kind of like he was kind of stumbling in that interview to me. Like, he wasn't really answering the question the way she was asking it.
He's a liar. He was one of the many people who came out after the Charlie Kirk thing that said we got to see footage in 4K of Charlie Kirk get shot. Then my beautiful friend Candace, nice talking to you this weekend, came out and it wasn't even 4K.
Talk to Candace.
It wasn't 4K. That shit was blurry as shit. And it's just like, why you? Like, why were you? It was you and a whole bunch of white influencers tap dancing, lying about what you saw in court. Why did Mr. Tatum over here? Why did Erica invite him to be one of the people of our party in the court of the people that got to go? Because
Quentin once again is bringing up valid points, and Anton is about to basically drive a wedge into the conversation and start an argument, which is going to lead into a bigger argument. But at the end of the day, Officer Tatum was one of those individuals that when it came to Charlie Kirk, he was tap dancing. I mean, he was going everywhere tap dancing. He even said, because they say Officer Tatum has a son. I haven't looked into that. I don't know. Right? But what I do have is the video of him crying over Charlie Kirk when Charlie Kirk died. Right? Making it seem that like it was the radical left and it was somebody from the gay community, anybody except a white man who did it. Let's check it out now.
I'm very angry because you don't get your lick back.
Again, this is the dude that was saying Charlie Kirk wasn't racist. This is the dude that was trying to convince us that Kirk was anything. Kirk was a racist, bro. You know, I appreciate the fact that he stood 10 toes down on his arguments. That's admirable. But he was a racist. David Duke stand 10 toes down on his argument. Nick Fuentes stand 10 toes down on his argument. Donald Trump stand 10 toes down on his argument. We had JD Vance says white men no longer have to apologize about being white no more, as if that was ever a thing, right? While at the same time simultaneously pulling up his past, and he has blackface in his past. So I mean, this is a administration of racist people, right? It's that's just what it is. But this is why Officer Tatum is hated. He's basically Anton on steroids, if we're being honest. He's what Anton wished Anton could have become. But Anton built his platform off talking to black men. Officer Tatum has built his platform off talking to white men and white women, and anybody that's non-black, or anybody that hate black culture or hate baby mama-ism only when it surrounds black culture. Because it's crazy how he act like white women are not baby mamas. But I'll get into that later, man.
That's why.
Oh yeah, I forgot you don't like Erica Kirk.
I'm just saying, why would he get invited? Why does he need to get invited? Why does some random black YouTuber need to get invited to be in the court? Because he tap dancing. And somebody's giving him some money to
I don't know
influence.
who this guy is.
It's to influence.
I don't know who this guy is that's talking right now.
So
I don't know who Quentin is.
I'm
I
from
don't know.
Oklahoma. It don't fucking count, I
I
guess.
don't know if you. I don't know who you are right now, bro.
Use the hard ER, Quentin.
No, I'm not. Nope. I changed my ways, and I'm not. No, he would probably use it. He uses it around all his white friends. Shit. What is?
No, Quentin. Now I gotta call you out, right? You can't call him out for having white friends, and you can't call Tatum out for having a white girl, because you got a white girl and you got white friends. You one of the few black dudes who was around us at that time who was not Sharon Bracey, who had a white chick. That's just what it was, bro. As a matter of fact, you bragged often and loudly about having white friends and having a fucking diverse group of friends, all of that goofy shit. You know what I'm saying? And we let you slide because you was the homie, but you know what I'm saying? You can't really come at Tatum for being around white people because that's your thing too. Y'all got that white girl Mimi up there right now. Y'all been saying she biracial. That's a white woman, bro. Molly is a white woman, bro. She got a white husband, bro. Y'all all the same. Y'all just like Tatum in a lot of ways. That's a fact. Y'all just not as successful. You know, how can I say it? When it comes to raccooning, y'all just not as successful. Let's get it popping, man.
Motherfucker be acting.
I don't know what Quentin
It's
is on.
faking
today,
fucking journalism bull crap.
but I'm gonna reserve. I'm gonna hold off till everybody give their opinion first.
I do think that there's still a lot of foul things about this case. I mean, to say that this boy has no Snapchats on his phone from that day is weird. I looked it up. The average age of Snapchatters, 18 to 24. Average number of time they snap during the day, 30 to 40.
That's crazy.
And then all of a sudden, this boy has nothing on his phone, not one. That doesn't make any sense. Kids these days, they don't enjoy the moment. There's no such thing as put my phone down and enjoy the moment. So
Not only Anton is this girl Kimmy the Gemini the best looking person on the panel, she's the best looking woman by far. It's not even close. Right? I've seen all their Instagrams. It's not even close. She be doing a little Mardi Gras stuff and a little Caribbeana stuff when they be out there dancing with all the stuff on their body half naked type shit. The rest of these girls are unattractive. It's gonna call it. It is what it is. Especially Mimi. Need to get her out of there. You might as well put Rita up there. No cap, bro. I don't know what you done did with Island Girl Q where she done went, but that's a major loss. Not having her up there and replacing her with Mimi. Nah, bro. We let you slide with one biracial. At least Island Girl Q was attractive. Come on, bro. Don't make me say it, Anton. Don't make me say it, bro. Jesus.
I'm never gonna believe that. Never gonna believe that makes sense.
I think we
And,
should
you
stick
know-
to the topic.
She can say what she want to say.
She is.
No, the
I mean,
topic
that
is
goes to your-
shitty Officer Tatum.
I'm sorry. We have a moderator for that.
About
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm doing a better job.
I didn't feel like she was hey paying Q no attention tonight. I don't know, are you on your period or what? But you don't flipped out on me one too many times tonight.
Excuse me?
Tonight, I feel like she was hey paying Q no attention tonight. I don't know, are you on your period or what? But you don't flipped out on me one too many times tonight, and I ain't going for it. So
You're not gonna do nothing, but yeah.
no, I'm just saying no.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
Now, Anton, you was at Kevin Samuel's funeral and you let women talk to black men like this. I don't even gotta go off. Cause you got somebody on your panel that every time the black man is disrespected even a little bit, he gonna take his panties off and open his legs up. Every single time. I'm talking about you, Slimmy. I'm talking about you. You gonna give it up every time. draws down, bent over from the back. You about to give it up right now. Watch Slimmy in action, y'all. Now, Mimi tells Quentin that he's on his period. Not even talking to Slimmy.
And Q, no attention tonight. I don't know, are you on your period or what? But you don't flipped out on me one too many times tonight, and I ain't going for it. So
You're not gonna do nothing but
no, I'm just saying. No, I'm not gonna yell. I'm just gonna ignore you. Okay. Yeah, that's what I said, Slimmy.
Oh, you better chill that shit out, man.
You got it. Are you on yours too? What's the problem? Why are y'all jumping on me tonight? I haven't done anything to you.
Don't make this
y'all gotta chill with the way
don't
y'all
make
talk
this
to
about
men.
me. Don't make this
Y'all
about
gotta
me.
chill with
Let
the way y'all
Kimmy
talk to
finish
men.
her conversation. No, but y'all stop talking. Stop talking to me like that.
Stop talking to men like that.
Stop
that
talking
shit
to me
dead.
like. Why do y'all always
shit
argue
dead.
with women? What is wrong with y'all?
Ain't nobody
Why y'all
arguing
so
with women. Nobody's arguing with
Why are
women.
you arguing with me
do you
right
feel
now?
the need to talk to a man like that?
First of all, why do he feel like he
All
can
right,
talk
so
to
hold
me
on,
like
hold
that?
on.
What is going on up here?
You need to calm down.
You
Hold on.
You're just mad at life. What's wrong with you?
Nobody mad at life.
Hold
Y'all
on,
be
chill.
disrespecting men.
Chill.
Cut that shit out.
Slimmy, please, bro. This isn't even a subject where you.
It's what they do on your panel, Anton. Tywin Lannister used to say, God rest his soul, he used to say when there was a problem with the soldiers, the fault lies with the commander. The reason why your soldiers over there, Slimmy, feel like he can disrespect Mimi is because you have created an environment where that's okay. I'll give you another example from Game of Thrones. I'm a big Game of Thrones fan. When Gawain Hightower saw men in his camp graping women while they was on their little march, he went to the hand of the king at the time, who was also their commander, Sir Kristen Coe, and asked him to discipline the men. Sir Kristen did not, and Gawain Hightower abandoned that. He couldn't be associated with stuff like that. You're talking about somebody who is the son of Otto Hightower, who was raised in the light of the Seven. Right? They have morals, believe it or not. You don't, Anton. To think that you have less morals than somebody like Otto Hightower is low-key alarming. Because he didn't have no goddamn morals. Not a goddamn moral at all. But let's keep going. I'm not going to highlight that. Let's keep going. Let's watch Slimmy crash out.
Y'all should even be going back and forth and beefing with each other on that type of stuff. I'm specifically curating the content. Why are you looking at me like that? We're talking about Officer Tatum, and we should be focusing on whether or not we focus. First of all, Slimmy, this don't even have nothing to do with you. This was Q.
It don't have nothing to do with me, but it has something to do with what goes on this panel too often.
Give me a second.
See, Slimmy, and Anton, let me talk to you for a second. You trying to change up your content and the way you do things. I've been peeping that. I've been watching. And I seen somebody unblock me from the chat, so I think that was Quentin. Shout out to Quentin. I think it was him. I'm gonna give him credit for that. But this the truth, my nigga. You got a platform that started off on some misogyny shit. You brought these men over thinking they can shit on women. They've been listening to you for years, shitting on women. And now you got Molly up here and other women shitting on men. Every other usual time you would call this out for hyena content and hyena behavior, and now you not. Now you turn into more of a simp. And it's just not gonna work with your audience, bro. I'm telling you, sooner or later they're gonna betray you. You're not being consistent. You gotta ride out that manosphere wave, bro. Kevin Samuels, like I said, y'all destroying his legacy. Anton was one of the few content creators at Kevin Samuels' funeral. Now you allow women to come on the panel and talk to me any type of way. Is that honoring Kevin Samuels' legacy with Kevin Samuels? If Kevin Samuels was here on this same panel and she said, Kevin, you're on your period, would you allow the same disrespect? But no, let's be real. You don't respect Q. You don't respect Slimmy in the same ways that you respected Kevin Samuels, mainly because Kevin Samuels has a bigger audience and they need you and he did not. You see, I'll point out the facts for you. Go ahead and lay it out for you. Them boys over there need you. Them boys admire you, right? Them boys bag chasers. Kevin Samuels was never one of those. You needed him. You wanted to be on his team. What y'all used to call yourself, the Black Illuminati? Fucking idiots.
That's bullshit.
I mean, it's not bullshit. Can y'all? I'm asking y'all to focus on the subjects and then also to mind y'all business when it don't have nothing to do with y'all. That's all I'm asking y'all to do. This don't even have
that nigga went off camera. That nigga Slimmy emotional.
Do with y'all. That's all I'm asking y'all to do. This don't even have nothing to do with relationships.
Time Dog, break the internet. Bring me on there, bro. Bring me, Breezy, J Prince, Drip, and Q. Boom. We gonna be the dudes, and you had the rest of the women up there, nigga. That's a whole show. You keep rocking with these dudes, your numbers gonna get lower, your channel gonna get boring, and you gonna make money because you know the game now. You're gonna clip stuff up. You're gonna make sure you know the game, right? But your audience, you see you going live and you and Freezy getting the same amount of viewers. That shit don't bother you? And you want to know why? Because you let that nigga Freezy come up out of nowhere, put all that dirt on your name, him and House of Hypocrite, and you ain't do a motherfucking thing about it. But when these women start talking about you, you doing reaction videos. Think I didn't see that shit? All these women that's online talking about you on TikTok and you addressing every single one of them like the mark ass nigga that you is. I've been off your head for a minute, Time Dog, out of respect for your family and that little lawsuit that they had going on. But it might be time to jump back on it for a fact.
Playing a man versus woman conversation. This is purely off of the content. Let's focus on the content, y'all. We too grown for this shit. Let's elevate and let's go to the next level.
Go ahead, Kimmy. What was you saying?
And so I think Tatum is becoming the most hated because people, they're calling her race Batem Tatum. Like Quentin was right. He's not holding their feet to the fire. Like in those interviews, he was just letting stuff fly. Like, oh boy, talking about my buddy, but then named Katie and Javon. Who are the rest of these buddies? Like, I feel like a reasonable interviewer would have asked those questions. And I just think that he just let a lot fly. And
his intention was not to be a good interviewer. The last time I saw somebody interview somebody genuinely is when Mika brought that shit to that young man in Orlando, and he broke that shit down piece for piece because as an interviewer, his reputation is on the line. Brandon Tatum is not an interviewer. Let's go ahead and get that out the way right now. He's not Queen Sheba, right? He's not Carlos King. He is not. He don't do interviews. What he do is have conversations with individuals that he agree with, and it's usually some type of bad intent behind it. With Nolan Wells' friends, it was all about let's adjudicate them in the public eyes, right? As a black man, I'm going to do an interview with these white boys. I'm going to go down to Mississippi and we're going to look at the spot that Nolan Wells allegedly died at. And I'm going to talk to these boys and I'm going to show America. These are normal, average, white American, cornbread fed boys who would never do something like harm their friends. That's what the whole interview's about. That's why I couldn't get through it. I tried. I just couldn't get through it because it was boring as hell. He was not challenging shit. He would ask questions like, what happened to Nolan? We don't know what happened to Nolan. Okay, man, that's cool. You love Nolan, right? Yeah, I love Nolan. It wasn't even about the case at some point. It was about making them look like they were good kids. And I'm good on that. I've seen that kind of propaganda in my real life and movies and scripts that I read. Going back to Game of Thrones, you look at somebody like Cersei Lannister, right? How she parallels Alicent Hightower, how they both manipulated their children up until the children died, right? Cersei, unlike Alicent didn't have no really nice boys. The one nice son she had, Darrel, he was all the way in a whole different city. But Cersei had Tommen. Tommen was he was a sweetheart. She literally blew up that boy wife. while he was king, taking actions in his kingdom behind his back, plotting. And she paid for it. The whole point is this. These people like Tatum, Erica Kirk, I'm still not sure where her position in all of this shit is. They move with a very, very, very dark energy. And Tatum, whatever they're paying you, it's not going to be worth it in the end. They're going to replace you with another fucking dancing monkey, and they're going to, eventually dispose of you. Hopefully not in a way that they disposed of Charlie Kirk, because nobody can convince me that that wasn't a planned situation, right? The media is not even talking about Tyler Robinson trial. That tells me everything I need to know. As much as they talked about Charlie's death, that was fucking front page media every night, all night. The NFL was doing tributes, everybody doing tributes, but nobody talking about this trial. Content creators not allowed in the building, but content creators allowed to talk about Carmelo Anthony. Very interesting.
It's suspect.
And he tried to get off that they took a lie detector test. And then Nancy was like, did he take a lie detector test or polygraph? Well, it's something different that's similar to. Nigga, shut up. Did they do it or not? I don't get it. I don't get where he's coming from. I don't know why. I guess I do know. It's money. It's all money. Do your thing.
What's the money?
He's getting paid by somebody to be the influencer that on this side of the aisle. He's getting paid by TP USA. That's 100%.
Quentin, stop. Like, truth be told, you're right, but at the same time, I don't think you're in a position to judge, because you're getting paid by Anton, who's getting paid for the same reason that bro getting paid. Bro getting paid on some hoe ass shit, right? Going around talking about black people, giving white people more credit than they fucking deserve type shit, right? Anton was doing the same thing, bro. You feel me? Y'all was right there rocking with Time Dog, doing that Kamala Harris shit to the point where Kamala put them boys in the book, bro. Said that them boys, Tate and Myron, had major influence on how the kids looked at shit. You feel me? Who they wanted to vote for. I don't know, bro. I think you've been a hypocrite right now. Y'all support Anton, and he just as anti-black as Officer Tatum. That's a fact. Anyway, let's wrap this up.
What does TPUSA have to do with the Nolan Wells case?
We're not talking about the Nolan Wells case. We're talking about Officer Tatum. That's what the topic is. You said that earlier. You try to keep us on topic. The topic doesn't say Nolan Wells. It says Officer Tatum. So that's all encompassing of what this nigga is saying out of his mouth.
The thing that he's catching the most flack for is what he's saying about the Nolan Wells case. Everything that he's been talking about over the last month.
He been getting flack way before the Nolan Wells cases, gang. He been getting flack, nigga, ever since he was doing the Charlie Kirk shit. I mean, bro, literally anything that's surrounding white or black people, he positioned himself on the white person's side, and that's pretty much it. Like, he take their argument no matter what it is. We got video of him talking about the girl from Illinois who got shot by that white police officer when she threw water on his face. Right? I can't think of her name right now. But he was online saying, yeah, that's a deadly weapon. And now when that man's been convicted, he was online saying, well, he should never been convicted. Bro, he literally took someone's life. You were making the same argument when, you know what I'm saying, Carmelo took someone's life, that he should get life. And it's too easy to point to inconsistencies, y'all. It's way too easy, man. I'm about to go to bed. I'm tired. I gotta get up in the morning. I'll see y'all later. I'm just gonna post this. Period.